It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Charles Osgood.
That's Carl Reiner on the Dick Van Dyke Show back in the 1960s. Now at nearly 93, he is a comic legend who can keep up with the best of them, as our Tracy Smith discovered when she came to call.
So what is 93? The day, I know what it is, a number, and the number's scary because I read the first thing in the morning before I have coffee. I read the obits.
Seriously?
Yes, if I'm not in it, I'll have breakfast. No,
At nearly 93, Carl Reiner is in the kind of shape people half his age might envy.
All the vital signs are perfect. I could live another hour.
He only sounds like he's on borrowed time.
I don't know.
The truth is, though, you're still productive. You're still writing.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it's not like you're waiting around.
No, I wake up every morning anxious to get to my, what do you call it? We used to call it a typewriter, my computer.
By any name, that keyboard is busy. Reiner's just finished the 4th volume of his memoirs. Clearly, the 12-time Emmy winner has a lot to look back on.
Welcome, America, and hi there, everybody. Once again, we present This Is Your Story. As you know, each week...
Carl Reiner didn't create TV, but let's just say he was in the delivery room.
Professor, I'd like to register a protest. This is preposterous. You can't fire us all.
I like you. I like you because you got spunk there, kid. You're real spunky.
As a writer and performer, he was a giant among giants. His co-writers on Sid Caesar's shows alone included Larry Gelbart, creator of the TV show MASH, comic genius Mel Brooks, and playwright Neil Simon.
Back in the early days of television, and we should mention, you were on TV before you owned a TV?
Yes, we didn't have a TV when I did the Show of Shows, and we finally got a little 7-inch set, and the kids used to watch it, and Robbie was 4 or 5 or 6, and he said, say hello to me, and I said, I can't say hello on television, but when I put my tie up in the finale, you'll know when we're all saying goodbye, that's for you.
Every night you would do this,
yes.
And that meant good night,
right.
Robbie.
Yeah.
How sweet is that?
Yeah, very, very.
But after years of writing sketch comedy, Reiner had an idea for a show of his own. A sitcom about a New York City comedy writer, like him, who lived in the suburbs with an adorable family, like his.
Your son dislikes you.
What are you saying? How can he dislike me? I'm his father.
Some children have been known to hate their fathers.
He's only 6 years old. He doesn't know me long enough to hate me.
Head of the family, it was okay, just okay. It didn't work.
The pilot flopped, but Reiner had written 13 full episodes, and producer Sheldon Leonard thought of a way he could make it all work. You might remember Sheldon Leonard from It's a Wonderful Life as the bartender who tells it straight.
Hey, look, I'm the boss. You want a drink or don't you?
He says, we'd love to talk to you about these episodes. I said, fellas, I don't want to fail with it the second time.
You didn't want to do it?
No, and he said, Sheldon, it's a good impression. He says, you won't fail. We'll get a better actor to play you. And he suggested Dick Van Dyke.
The show, which ran for 5 seasons on CBS, was a major hit.
It was an accident.
An accident? So was Custer's last stand. You want a scalp to hang on your belt?
Reiner wound up playing the pompous boss, Alan Brady, but the rest of the show mirrored his life. In fact, Mary Tyler Moore's Laura Petrie was inspired by the real-life woman Reiner went home to every night.
What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?
As a young GI during World War II, he'd met Estelle Lebost, an artist 8 years his senior.
I had a lot of hair in those days, black hair, wavy.
Hair.
We sat down with them in 2007.
No, he was really good looking, but typical. I said tall, dark, and handsome.
When you looked at her, what did you think?
Nice figure. Of course, I was 20.
They married in 1943 and had 3 children, Robbie, Annie, and Lucas.
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
For a showbiz family, the Reiners were pretty normal. Robbie, the future director, had a pretty good arm. So did Mom. And in the summer, they'd all hit the beach, sometimes with longtime family friend Mel Brooks.
How often do you guys see each other now?
At least 6, 7 times a week. He sits right there. We watch television.
Many, many hundreds of years ago, most men had more than one wife.
Yeah.
Did you practice polygamy in those days?
I never practiced it. I was perfect at it.
But there's nothing on TV like this anymore. The 2,000-year-old man was an impromptu sketch gone wild, with Reiner interviewing Brooks as the oldest man in the world.
What was it like to have 7 wives?
Terrible. It was absolutely the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Why?
I used to come home from work and I'd open the door and I'd hear, "You're late for supper, 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 supper."
As ranking old-timer, I gotta say, I just can't do it. At my age, I think I'm in the right to be selfish.
Reiner himself was the oldest man in the star-packed Ocean's 11 gang. But his biggest box office hits were behind the camera.
And action.
As director of comedies like The Jerk and Oh God, starring George Burns.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So help me.
So help you?
If it pleases the court, and even if it doesn't please the court, I'm God, Your Honor.
You clearly are a guy who likes to make people happy. Is that a tough trait to have when you're a director?
No, as a matter of fact, it's a wonderful trait to have. You can get the best out of people if they're happy and not worried or not frightened that they're going to make a mistake. Robbie does exactly the same, but don't demand anything of anybody. You hire actors who you think are going to be right for the part, and then you let them go.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Maybe that's why Rob Reiner cast his mom Estelle for a small but climactic moment.
Oh, God.
I'll have what she's having.
It had to be you.
But what really got Estelle Reiner excited was singing. And as Carl wrote in his memoir, it was something his wife loved until the day she died in 2008.
Why did you decide to write about the last moments of her life?
Because it was so beautiful. Estelle died in '94, when she was 94, and the last year of her life was lying in bed. It was she always thought she was going to go back and sing, and she couldn't really get out of bed. She had major problems, but
she was here.
Her mind was always there, and at the last moment, she wasn't even breathing. A breath every minute, a little something. And we touched her with nothing. You know, I said, let her, she should go out hearing something lovely, like her last album, you know. So I put on, and the first song was "Hey, You're Adorable," and that was playing. I said, play it up loud.
A, you're adorable. B, you're so beautiful. C, you're a cutie full of charm.
Maybe she'll hear it as she's going. And we played it loud. And one of the hospice nurses says, oh, she has such a lovely, sweet voice. And Lucas, my son, went right up to his mother. He said, Ma, you hear what she said? She says, you have a lovely, sweet voice. And Estelle said, and passed away. Didn't aspirate it, but her lips, we all saw it. Then gone. I had to write about that because it was a good way to go, a good way to go. Once I built a railroad to the sun with brick and ribbon and lime.
And music still keeps him going. Reiner sings on his daily walks, and at one point even considered a career as a crooner.
I was 6 years old. They said, I want to be an Irish tenor, I told my father. And he said, you can be a Jewish tenor, but he's and sing Irish songs. Home tonight.
We're thankful Carl Reiner chose to make us laugh instead.
Down the road that leads back to that tumble-down shack, to that tumble-down shack in Athlone. Now we got it. Use any part of it.